Welcome back, students. I'm so happy to have you joining me again. This week, we will focus on the virtue loyalty. Before we begin, let's look at this week's objectives. 1. Define loyalty and explain why loyalty is an important virtue. 2. Explore biblical characters who demonstrate loyalty. 3. Identify the benefits of loyalty and ways to demonstrate loyalty. To get a better understanding of this virtue, let's define the word loyalty. Loyalty is a noun. The definition for loyalty is the quality of being faithful in your support of someone or something. Let's look at some other words that are similar in meaning to loyalty. Devotion, faith, uprightness, and allegiance. As we continue to build on our definition of loyalty, we must take note that loyalty is an important virtue. It is an important virtue because it affects us personally as well as affects the business world. Who then should we be loyal to? First and foremost, we should be loyal to God. As His creation, we have a responsibility to stay and remain faithful to Him. We must also demonstrate loyalty to our friends, our family members, and to businesses. The first Bible story we will explore is Elijah's last journey. As you listen to the story, think on this focus question. How did Elisha demonstrate loyalty to Elijah? Elijah was glad to have Elisha to help him and be his close companion. Elisha thought that Elijah was the most wonderful man that he had ever known. He wished that he could be half as brave and good as his master. Elijah was not afraid of kings or people. He stood up for God and for justice and right, even at the risk of his own life. But now he was growing old, and God had told him that his life would soon end. He must hand over his work to Elisha. As the two of them walked together one day, Elisha knew in his bones that this was the day that he would have to be parted from Elijah. But Elijah was silent, so he said nothing. When they reached Gilgal, Elijah spoke. "Stay here," he ordered Elisha. "God has told me to go to Bethel." "Then I'm coming too," Elisha answered. "I'm not going to leave you now." When they reached Bethel, a group of prophets came hurrying out to meet them. "Do you know that God is going to take your master away from you today?" they whispered to Elisha as Elijah strode on. "I know," Elisha said, "but I don't want to talk about it." And he quickened his steps to catch up with Elijah. When they reached Bethel, Elijah said, "Stay here. God has told me to go on to Jericho." But again, Elisha refused to be parted from his master. At Jericho, another crowd of prophets came out to meet them and warned Elisha that Elijah would leave him that day. "Stay here," Elijah ordered for the third time. "God has told me to go to the river Jordan." Elisha was determined to stay close to Elijah, so the two walked on together. When they came to the river's edge, they stopped. Then Elijah took off his cloak, folded it, and struck the water with it. At once, the water divided and left a path through the middle. Both men crossed to the other side. When Elijah and Elisha reached the other side of the river, Elijah began to talk. "Is there anything you want to ask from me before I go?" he said. "I should like to inherit your greatness and power, just as if I were your eldest son," Elisha answered earnestly. Elijah paused for a moment. "That is a difficult thing to ask for," he admitted. "But if you see me when I am taken away from you, you shall have your request." Slowly, they went on walking and talking. Then, suddenly, Elisha saw a chariot of fire, drawn by horses of fire, plunge towards the earth, cutting him off from his master. He peered intently past the fiery chariot at the figure of Elijah. As he watched, a sudden violent gust of wind took Elijah up into the blue sky. Let's review that Bible story. Elijah enjoyed Elisha as his close companion. Since Elijah was old, God told him to hand over his work to Elisha. Elisha knew that Elijah would soon leave him. Elisha refused to leave Elijah's side as they journeyed to Gilgal, Bethel, Jericho, and the river Jordan. This refusal to leave Elijah's side shows Elisha's loyalty to his master Elijah. He was devoted to remaining by Elijah's side. They were finally separated when a chariot of fire drawn by horses took Elijah up into the sky. The second Bible story we will explore is Daniel and his friends. As you listen to the story, think on this focused question. How did Daniel and his friends demonstrate loyalty? When Nebuchadnezzar first marched into Jerusalem, he arrested the king and his court and took them back to Babylon. He told his chief official, Ashpenaz, to pick out all the young people who could be trained to become advisors at the Babylonian court. Ashpenaz searched for teenagers who were healthy, good-looking, and at the top of the class at school. He ordered them to be ready to set off for the court of King Nebuchadnezzar, far away. One of the chosen young people was Daniel. He was glad that 3 of his best friends had been picked too. Once they arrived in Babylon, Ashpenaz explained to them what would happen. The Babylonians were not cruel like the Assyrians, and the captives were well treated. First of all, Ashpenaz himself would teach them to read and write in the Babylonian language. Then they would begin a 3-year university course studying philosophy, literature, astrology, and the Babylonian religion. Once they had qualified, they would become advisors at court. "You will live well," Ashpenaz told them. "You are to have the same choice food and wine that is served to the king himself." Although Daniel and his friends were far from God's temple in Jerusalem, they were determined to be loyal and true to God. They did not want to live a life of luxury, accepting special treatment from the king and making themselves his chosen people. They decided to ask for a more simple way of life. "Please, let us have a plain vegetarian diet," Daniel asked Ashpenaz. "We don't want the royal luxuries." "I dare not do as you say," Ashpenaz answered. "If you looked pale and underfed, I'd be blamed and might be put to death." When Ashpenaz had gone, Daniel repeated his request to the guard who was in charge of them. "Please, give it a try," he begged. "Give us plain vegetables to eat and water to drink, just for 10 days. Then see how we look compared with the other students." The guard agreed. He would be able to enjoy the special rations set aside for Daniel and his friends. After 10 days, the guard examined the four closely. He had to admit that they looked healthier and more full of energy than any of the other young people. So, for the 3 years that they were students, the four Jewish boys kept to their simple diet and stayed loyal to their God and their own people far away. Let's review this second Bible story. Daniel and his friends were selected to be trained as advisors at the Babylonian court. They were told that they would eat and drink the same food as King Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel and his friends not only demonstrated loyalty to God, but also loyalty to their family. They demonstrated loyalty to God and their family by opting to live a simple lifestyle rather than a life of luxury. For 3 years, Daniel and his friends remained loyal to God and to their own family's lifestyle, even though they were far away from Jerusalem. Being loyal or demonstrating loyalty often creates rewards. Let's take a look at some of these rewards. The first set of rewards of loyalty are personal benefits. The first personal benefit is increase in blessings. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 20 states, "A faithful person will be richly blessed, but one eager to get rich will not go unpunished." The Lord wants to bless us with good things, but we must prove faithful or demonstrate loyalty to Him. The second personal benefit is security. Loyalty gives security to people around you. They realize that they can trust you. The third personal benefit is respect from others. You prove yourself to be faithful, and others respect you for that. The fourth personal benefit is stronger friendships. Your friends see the devotion that you have towards them, which fosters trust and dependability. In the business world, there are also benefits. Businesses become stronger businesses when they have customers who remain faithful and loyal to them. Businesses then reward those loyal customers by giving them loyalty cards. These loyalty cards allow customers to enjoy something free after a certain amount of purchases. There are even benefits of loyalty seen in clubs, organizations, and sports teams. In these organizations, they honor loyal members usually for their dedication, support, and unwavering commitment to the team. Loyalty is a virtue that must be shown. Let's now explore ways that we can demonstrate loyalty. We must demonstrate loyalty to God. There are four ways that we can do this. The first is through worship. We must remember that we were created to give honor and glory to His name. Worship must be our lifestyle. The second way is reading His Word. We must take time to understand what He is saying in His Word. The third way is to respect others. We must remember the golden rule: do unto others as we would have them do unto us. And last, we should remember to demonstrate loyalty by praying. This is a two-way street, talking to God, but also listening to what He has to say. We should demonstrate loyalty to our family. All of us belong to a family. We should demonstrate loyalty to our family by obeying the rules that our parents set. We should also respect the feelings of those within our family. When we do this, we will foster trust and dependability within the family. We can demonstrate loyalty to school, clubs, and sports teams. Just as we would obey the rules our parents set, we should also commit to obeying the rules set out within an organization. We should remain loyal to the organization by attending meetings and participating in group activities. This lets the organization know that they can count on us. We should demonstrate loyalty to our friends. We can do this by being respectful of each other's feelings and remaining by each other's side through the good times and the bad. This fosters trust and dependability. We've defined loyalty and explained why loyalty is an important virtue. We've explored biblical characters who demonstrated loyalty, and we've identified the benefits of loyalty and ways to demonstrate loyalty. Now, let's review the lesson. Loyalty is the quality of being faithful in your support of someone or something. Synonyms for the word loyalty include devotion, faith, uprightness, and allegiance. Loyalty is an important virtue because it affects our personal lives and the business world. Loyalty even affects relationships. We should demonstrate loyalty to God, our friends, our family, and businesses. In the story Elijah's Last Journey, Elisha remains loyal to Elijah on their journey until he was taken up to heaven in a chariot. In the story Daniel and his friends are taken to Babylon where they refuse to conform to the Babylonian way of life. Daniel and his friends demonstrate loyalty to God and to their family by maintaining a simple lifestyle. There are many benefits of loyalty. Personal benefits of loyalty include increase in blessings, security, respect from others, and stronger friendships. Businesses benefit from loyalty of customers by having a stronger business. In turn, businesses reward customers by giving loyalty cards. Clubs and organizations are stronger when members are loyal. In turn, clubs and organizations honor loyal members. There are several ways we can demonstrate loyalty. We can demonstrate loyalty to God by worshiping Him, reading His Word, treating others with respect, and praying every day. We can demonstrate loyalty to our family by obeying our parents' rules and treating family members with love and respect. Demonstrating loyalty to our family fosters trust and dependability. We can demonstrate loyalty to our school, clubs, and sports teams by being committed and obeying rules. We can demonstrate loyalty to our friends by being respectful of each other's feelings and supporting each other in good times and bad times. Demonstrating loyalty to friends fosters trust and dependability.
I could never earn your heart. I could never reach that far. But you have pulled me close. You'll never let me go. I'm safe forever in your